All right, let's take a look now at our chords for the song Forever. We're the key of A, and so we're going to start with that right out of the gate with the A chord, and that's going to be built on A, C sharp, and E. A, C sharp, and E. As we do these, we're going to have a few slash chords, so some variations and inversions on these. We're going to have an A chord where we use the A in our bass, just straight A, but we're also going to have an A over C sharp later on in the song. So same right hand chord, but then a C sharp in the bass. Okay, gives a little variety on that. The next one that we're going to use is an E. An E chord is built on E, G sharp, and B. Okay, so we're going to give just the basic notes and forms of these chords, and then we're going to get into the actual positions that we'll use for these. But here's the E, E, G sharp, and E, and then we'll also with that chord have an inversion of that as well. So we're going to have a G sharp, so E over G sharp in the bass. All right, so you can play it either with E, the bass, or E over G sharp. That changes your left hand note, okay? And then we'll do an F sharp minor. F sharp minor is built on F sharp, A, and C sharp, right there. And with this chord, once we get into the song, many times we're going to be adding the seventh note. So an F sharp minor 7, and that means we're adding in now an E as well. So 4 notes to make that chord. We'll show how we'll break that up between our hands to make it a little more accessible, but adding in that E is a nice smooth sound in F sharp minor 7. That 6 minor chord we can use to kind of bring a little more color to the sound. And then we're going to go to the D chord. So D is going to be D, F sharp, and A, okay? Just like that. And then we have an E chord we return to in the progression. The last chord that we want to be familiar with is a B minor chord. So B, D, and then an F sharp, okay? B, D, F sharp. And that gives us our B minor. All right, so that is the chord notes that we're going to use to build these. And now let's look at exactly how we're going to arrange those. And we're doing it pretty consistently throughout the song. Really going to play the same chord inversions and positions for the verses and the chorus. And then for the bridge, we'll drop it down a position so that it sounds a little bit lower and deeper. And then we'll come back up to what we did before for those last few choruses to end the song. Okay, so after we get through the melody, which we'll look at in the rhythm and melody video, the chord that we jump right into is an A, and we're actually going to be right on root position. So you will take it as we kind of taught it, A, C, E, right here, okay, in root position, and then that is kind of our center of sound. We're going to stick really close to this as best we can. So it goes, here we go now to an E afterwards. So an E, we're going to play in a first inversion. So instead of E, G sharp, B, we start on the G sharp. So it's going to be G sharp, B, and E for that. So we go from the A and then to an E, first inversion, okay? Now, I said we do an F sharp minor 7. So for this one, this actually allows us to play what looks like F sharp with our left hand, and you could play octaves or single note. F sharp covered by the left hand bass note, and then you're playing A, C sharp, and E. Well, what does that look like in your right hand? It looks like you're playing just an A chord by itself in your right hand, but you have an F sharp bass. So there we go. We're actually playing the 4 notes that we need for an F sharp minor 7. We've just kind of spread it out between hands. So that's an easy move because you've gone from A and then to an E, and now you're kind of going in your right hand back to the A shape, but F sharp bass, just like that. Now for the D, if we can, we're going to stretch that out a little bit more. So D, we're going to reach down to the F sharp and the A right here. And we're going to add a little bit of a colorful note here. And again, when I said we're sticking around the A shape up here, we're going to keep this E, if we can, in our pinky, our 5th finger up high. This might be a little bit of a stretch. So if it's too much, then go ahead and just play the, D shape this way. So D in your left hand, F sharp, and A alone. But if you can reach up to add this E, it's quite nice to add a little bit of a colored note. That's actually a 9th. It's a colorful note above, and it keeps a little bit of this centered sound. So an A, but then we reach all the way down this kind of a little anchor to go to a D, just like that. So it's a bit of a spread, but if you can bring in that D that way. All right? So that's going to take us through a bit of the progression. Now to an E, and then we've got our F sharp minor 7, and then reach down to that D, and that repeats quite a few times. When it gets to the pre-chorus, then you're going to have this moment in the second to last line or last line that has an A over C sharp. So instead of going back to just a regular A, your left hand goes down to the C sharp bass. Okay? And then to an E. And so you're just kind of using those chord inversion positions over and over again. F sharp minor, and then to a D. And this leads you into the chorus. So the only thing that we're going to do differently here is change our rhythm, which we'll look at. You still keep the same chord shapes. Now let's talk about the bridge. The bridge, we're going to take now still an A chord as our starting chord, but we're going to play it in a second inversion. So not up here like this. We're going to shift this E to be down here. So E, A, C sharp. Okay? And so this kind of sets us up for different positions down low. So there's our A, the we sing hallelujah, and then we go to an E. It's going to be a root position E, just like that. E, G sharp, B, and then to an F sharp minor, and then to a D, first inversion. Okay, so different than where we added this ninth up above, like in the verses and the chorus. We're just going to keep it a straight D, first inversion. F sharp, A, D, D in the bass hand. Okay, so then again playing through that progression. So here's your A, second inversion, to the E, root position, and then to an F sharp minor, just an F sharp minor, not minor 7, and then to a D. Okay, and then you're going to have a B minor appear again at the end before you go back to the chorus. So we sing hallelujah, and then it's going to be a B minor very quickly, which you can insert just like that. And that's a second inversion, B minor, right there. Okay, so B in the bass, F sharp, B, D, and then back to a D chord. And that really is going to take you through the full song because you go back to the same positions we used before for the chorus. And those are the shapes that you would need then for the song forever.